Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel, come back at you with another offering off of my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Excuse me. I woke up not too long ago, so I'm still kind of letting everything move and do. Why am I telling you that versus like me just letting things move and do before I'm doing the video? Because I need to get some of these videos done kind of now. So, I mean, I don't need to. I actually have like a big backlog, but I'm doing them now. Anyway, folks, what is my sampler platter? Series of videos I've been doing for a while now, where I go over there, I try out food and drink items. Go over there, I sit in a chair. It's a chair. There's a crappy old ladder off to the side. Got a Peter Cannon Thunderbolt poster. Marvel Legends figures. Awesome shirt. PlayStation 1994. It's good times. I mean, at the very least, it's like not like terrible times, I don't think. So, but anyway, so what am I going to be going over there and trying for y'all in this particular video? Well, folks, time I'm doing this, this is a separate day than the last batch videos that I did, because boy oh boy did all that stuff just completely knock me out. But this is still part of my International Fresh Market Spectacular, wherein I went over there, found a little fresh market place, like, call it international, it was mostly Asian, and I just got a bunch of cool stuff, and so now I'm going through doing these videos and trying to whatever. So, with that said, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? Boom! What I'm going to assume are Japanese Lays. I'm not super good at, like, identifying specific kanji types, which is, like, the system of writing that some Asian cultures use, but I'm guessing that these are from Japan. We're gonna roll with that. If they're not, from somewhere in Asia, so I apologize if they're not specifically Japanese. I'm just, clearly I have no idea what I'm doing, folks, so I'm just trying stuff. But anyway, yeah, they had a whole bunch of these. I think I'm going to try to get in 3, because I couldn't do all of them in one video. I mean, a better presenter could, someone who's more concise and to the point, but that is clearly not Brandon Michael Wenzel. That's just not me. So, we're going to start with good old fried crab flavor, because here in the United States, we definitely do not have fried crab flavored potato chips. I wish we did. That sounds amazing. I'm sure we could go over there and find, like, some flavor to knock off. You know, one that's been sitting around. Dill pickle! Let's get rid of fucking dill pickle chips. Bring in some crab. Sorry if you like dill pickle chips. I don't hate them, but come on, man. They're pretty, meh fucking chips. Oh! Packaging is definitely heavier on these than good old USOA. It smells kind of crabby. Potato chip. Let's do the thing. Okay. Okay. I've had, in the past, some, like, seafood flavored potato chips, and a lot of times, it's just a very generic seafood flavor, like, regardless of whatever it is that, you know, it's supposed to taste like. So I was a little worried that these might have that same thing, but actually, no. They do have, like, an identifiable sort of crab taste to it. It's more along the lines of maybe, like, some imitation crab taste, but I'll still eat that stuff. Still crab to me, folks. It's crab to me. Yeah, I mean, They're good. They're definitely good. It's got kind of a hit of the crab at the start, and then it kind of dials itself back, and it does become sort of a seafoody taste. But it's not. It's set up well enough that, it doesn't like just taste generic. Like, there's definitely more going on with it. It's definitely, like I said, it's fried crab flavor, not just normal crab flavor. Because if it was normal crab flavor, it would just be a crab, and it would come out and be like crab, and it would attack you. But that's not the case here. This crab's already been done in. It's been taken care of. But yeah, it was pretty good. It's got, like I said, it's got a nice kind of hit of crab.
Frankenstein never scared me. My soup.
People. Always. Why don't I just go, I should just fucking, whatever. But yeah, that was pretty solid. It was an interesting chip experience. It's not a chip that I would say is for everybody. I definitely don't think it would catch on the way, barbecue or sour cream and onion. Something that's a bit more universal. It's definitely its own thing. But it is genuinely a pretty solid chip flavor for being kind of like a, international thing. Obviously, Japan, they're big on seafood and everything, so I could definitely see why they would be into it. Over here, I don't think it would catch on as much. I still think it could replace dill pickle, personally. But, yeah, that was pretty solid. I'm gonna thumbs up to the fried crab flavor. So what's up next? Well, we're going from one crustacean to another, folks. Boom! Spicy crayfish flavor. Gotta admit, I'm pretty excited for these. Crab flavor, I was like, okay. But I gotta admit, I'm kind of hopeful with these. I'm honestly kind of surprised that we've never had these over here. Excuse me. Not that I would think that it would be, again, like a regular flavor or anything. But Lay's, they've had like I don't know if they're still doing it or how they're doing it anymore. But they had like the competition with like the wacky flavors and stuff. You would think, like they did like North American flavors, deep dish, Chicago deep dish pizza, Philly cheesesteak. You would think that like this, maybe, like New Orleans flavor kind of thing, have like a gumbo flavor chip. Why did nobody do that? Apparently the Japanese might have, so. Japanese were winning at a game we didn't even know they were playing. The smell, it's not a bad smell by any means. I will say, it's a little less potent than I was expecting. What with it being spicy, spicy crayfish. So my expectations have been slightly lower than what they were before. I was really kind of hoping that this would have like a really solid punch of flavor, and it still may, but yeah, it doesn't. Well, okay. You're good. They do have sort of a subtle They do have, sorry, hamster. They do have sort of a subtle crayfish flavor. You've never had crayfish. First of all, I mean, if you're not into eating animals or whatever, hey, but if you're fine with that, I would definitely suggest it. It's a little bit tedious, but it is good. And it's very different than, like, lobster or crab. So you do get sort of a crayfishy taste throughout. And I think it's good. Although, I personally would have liked a little bit more punch to it. I think, for me personally, what I would like to have seen, I would have liked to have seen them up the crayfish flavor a little bit, so that they could have upped the spice flavor a little bit. That, I think, would have made a really excellent chip. As it is, they kept the crayfish flavor kind of low, which I think is good to a certain extent, especially if you're trying to appeal to as many people as possible, because that could have been something that they overdid and made it, like, just too potent. And I don't know that, for me, I probably still would have gone for it. But as a result, they also had to kind of dial back the spice, which comes in, and it's not very hot. I mean, I'll say it right now. You do, after everything's said and done, you do get sort of like a hit of spice at the back of your throat, which is kind of nice. And I mean, they're still reasonably flavorful chips. I don't want to make it seem like they've got nothing going on. It's just less so than what I was hoping for. I would imagine if they did ever end up coming out with these, over here, like an American version, I would hope that they would give it more punch, because I think that would be something that I personally would go for. But yeah, it's a good chip. Like I said, crayfish flavor. It's not like overdone or anything like that. And then the spice flavor. It's got a nice, flavor to it, and everything kind of carries throughout. And then, like I said, at the end you get a little bit of a hit. A little bit disappointing, but if I'm entirely honest, I think that if you were going to try and market it, again, to like an American audience, I would think that these would be more successful than the fried crab flavor, even though the fried crab flavor has more flavor, a little bit more of a punch to it. Specifically because these are a little bit more mellow, I think that people could probably go with this, especially since, like, the crab flavor has sort of, a distinct sort of seafoodiness. This, you don't get a lot of that. Like, it's a very, very tiny amount. So, Alright, let's do one more. Since we're on the seafood kick, we're going to do, boom! Grilled squid flavor. We've moved on from crustaceans to mollusks. This is the last of the, that, by the way, it's just, oh man, yeah. That's a hell of a thing. I don't think you would ever see that on an American Lay's product, but that is perfectly okay with me. And these are ruffled. Ruffled! Remember when, like, I don't know if I was, like, properly around when it first happened, but I remember being old enough that, like, Ruffles were, like, a thing. Like, not just the brand and stuff, but, like, when ruffled potato chips became a thing, like, when I was really young. I don't know when they were actually invented, but, like, I remember them being a thing. But, yeah, I like squid. At the start of these videos, I did cuttlefish, and they're related to squid. So, we're going to give it a shot. I will say, though, I guess it's both nice and terrible to see that, just, it's, that the Japanese are getting just as gypped as we are when it comes to the contents of the bag. And this is literally, like, half the fucking bag. God. Let's try some grilled friggin' squid, yeah. Okay. Hmm. They're decent. The only thing is, the three that I've tried now, these are probably the most subtle in flavor, even compared to the crayfish ones. That might just be because with these being ruffles, like they're definitely a thicker cut. So like maybe that's kind of like taking away from it to some extent because you got more potato. Um, because yeah, like the first one that I had where I just had one by itself. I mean, there's obviously flavor there, but like it starts off and there's really not much to it. It takes a few seconds for it really to get going. I mean, I guess it has kind of a squiddy taste. But it's like, yeah, man, these are, they're not bad, but like, they're really muted for what I was expecting. Like the crab, that right out the gate was like, crab. And the spicy crayfish, even though it was just a little bit more toned down, is still a thing. But these, I mean, I would be hard pressed to figure these as being like squid flavored at all. I'd really like if no one told me, there's no way I would get that. I would just think maybe some sort of like seafood, you know, like spiced kind of thing. Um, I mean, and it doesn't fall into the trap like I was saying before of like tasting like just like generic seafood. But it's not. Yeah, man, this one is definitely the most disappointing. Again, it's not bad. It would probably, I mean, it would be perfectly palatable to anybody who just wants some potato chips. I mean, I would almost. Like almost like just a light barbecue flavored chip, maybe. Yeah, that one's disappointing. Um, like I said, it's perfectly palatable. Arguably it's the most palatable because there's just not that much going on there, which again for me is personally really disappointing. But all right, so those are the three I'm going to do right now. Out of the three that I had, fried crab, spicy crayfish flavor, and the squid. I think I'm going to go down the middle and say it's great. Spicy crayfish flavor was probably my favorite overall. Even though it was a little bit muted for what I was hoping, I still think that it had a nice, like all the flavors were there. I could taste what they were supposed to be. And, it was compared to the crab, whereas the crab had a bit more of a punchiness to it, which I did like. But I think in terms of like something that I would just want to sit down and just eat like a bag of, the spicy crayfish flavor would be my preference. I would be perfectly fine with the fried crab flavor, but that would be more one that I would like as kind of a, if I was in the mood for it. Whereas compared with the grilled squid flavor, I don't think I would really go out. I wouldn't grab these again, not unless they change the recipe or something. Because for me, that's just kind of meh. Anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me on this video. Could do 5 things for me real quick. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, phenomenal rest of your month, monumentous rest of your year, and if you could go over there and have yourself a spicy crash, or, way to fuck it up, Brandon, spicy crayfish flavored rest of your year, that would be pretty good. Two last things, folks. Good. Try to bring some positivity in the world. Not always possible. It is always appreciated, though, I promise you. Even if it doesn't always seem like it, it's out there. It's out there. We're good. We're good. If you can't do that, though, sometimes you can't. I know I can't all the time. Try not to be an asshole. I think that's usually a doable thing. So just try to mitigate it when you can. And final thing, folks, could do the thing for me. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to do. I want you to go out, make your own seafood flavored chips. You're gonna go over. You're gonna figure out some way to make giant squid flavored chips. You're gonna battle the Kraken and go over there and harvest his spices and then go. Don't do that, but chip flavored. Or, hey, maybe you just want to go over there and, learn how to play guitar or something like that. Just go out and do the things. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. Just have yourself a great rest of your day. I got potato chips. Bye.